my dear students, welcome back to my channel. So let's continue the second part for the introduction video, chapter 4, quadratic equations.
So there are different methods to solve a quadratic equations. The first one is by factorization method and by completing the square and by using quadratic formula. So as per the new syllabus, we have only factorization method and quadratic using quadratic formula. So this completing square is removed from the syllabus. So now let's see how to solve the quadratic equations by using factorization method. So factorization method, we know as the name says factorization, we need to split the middle term. So that is a splitting the middle term method. So I have done a detailed video on splitting the middle term. Please watch that if you have a confusion on how to split the middle term. So now let's see, find the roots of the equation 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals to 0 by factorization. So now we need to split the middle term. So middle term is minus 5x. So let's write it as 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals to 0. So by splitting the middle term, we need to split the middle term in a way that splitter terms, the product of the splitter terms should be equal to the product of the coefficient of x squared and constant. So here the coefficient of x squared is 2 and the constant term is 3. The coefficient of x squared is 2 and constant term is 3. So the product of that is 6. So the splitter term, the product of the splitter term should also be equal to 6. So now we can split minus 5 as, can be splitted as minus 2 plus minus 3. Correct? So now let's rewrite the equation, that is 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 3 equals to 0. So now we splitted the middle term minus 5x. Let's simplify this, taking 2x is common, so that is left is x minus 1 minus, we can take 3 outside, so that will be x minus 1 again. So that is equal to 0. Now let's take x minus 1 and x minus 1 is common, so we can write as 2x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 1. So now we have factored the quadratic equations as a product of two linear factors. So now we have changed the quadratic equation as a product of two linear factors. So we can say 2x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 1 equals to 0. So either 2x minus 3 can be 0 or x minus 1 can be 0. So we can write 2x minus, if 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, then x can be 2x equals to minus 3, x equals to plus 3, x equals to 3 by 2. So it can be, in the first case it can be x equals to 3 by 2, or secondly we can write x minus 1 equals to 0, so that is x equals to 1. So we find two solutions. For x is, one is 3 by 2 and other one is 1. So the roots of the equation 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals to 0. So first one, x equals to 3 by 2 or x equals to 1. So these are the roots for this quadratic equation. So now let's see how to solve the equation by using quadratic formula. So here, so solution of a quadratic equation by quadratic formula. So we have a formula here, that is x equals to, x is the root of an equation, quadratic equation, x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac by divided by 2a. So here x, which is the root of the quadratic equation, so that is a quadratic equation, you know, it is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So here the roots are is equal to minus b plus or minus b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x squared and c is the coefficient of, c is the constant term. So the formula is minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2 by a. So let's do one question. So use the quadratic formula to find the roots of x squared plus 5x minus 14 equals to 0. Now let's identify which is a, b and c. So in this equation, given equation, we can write a is equal to 1, b is equal to 5 and c equals to minus 14, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x and c is the constant term. Now let's replace these values in the equation, which is the quadratic formula. So that is minus b is minus 5, we have b is equal to 5 plus or minus. We can find two roots by first by addition and by taking the minus sign as well. So that is plus or minus square root of b squared which is 5 squared minus 4 multiplied by a is equal to 1 multiplied by minus 14 which is c divided by 2 multiplied by a which is 1. So now simplify this. Minus 5 plus or minus square root of 5 squared. 5 squared is 5 multiplied 5, that is 25, minus 4. Minus 4 into 1 into minus 14 will give you plus 56. 4 multiplied by 14, 4 times 14 is 56 divided by 2. Correct? So that is minus 5. Let's write here. Minus 5 plus minus 25 plus 56, that is 81. Square root of 81 divided by 2. Correct? So that is minus 5 plus minus square root of 81 is square root of 81 is 9 divided by 2. So that is firstly we can make the formula. So that is minus, so the first root will be root number 1 will be minus 5 plus minus 5 plus 9 divided by 2. So that is minus 5 plus 9 divided by 2, that is for minus 5 plus 9 is 4 by 2 which is 2. The first root is 2, second one is root number 2 which is solution number 2 will be minus 5 minus 9 divided by 2. So that is minus 5 minus 9, so that is 14 minus 14 by 2 which is minus 7. Correct? So that are the two roots. By using, we find the two roots. One is 2 and the second one is minus 7. So these are the two roots of that quadratic equation, and we find that using the formula. So we need to learn this formula by heart. So the formula is, quadratic formula is x equals to, that is the root is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, where a, b, c are real numbers. Means that says from the quadratic equation. A and b are the coefficient of x squared and x, and c is the constant term. Now let's see the nature of roots according to discriminant. So in the given formula, in this formula we can say just this part which is the b squared minus 4ac. This part is called the discriminant of the quadratic equation. So that is, the discriminant is given as d, which is b squared minus 4ac. It is expressed as d, and it is b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. So there is, according to the discriminant of a quadratic equation, we can find the nature of roots. The nature of roots will be different according to the nature of the discriminant. So discriminant is the b squared minus 4ac. Discriminant of a quadratic equation is b squared minus 4ac, where a and b, a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant of. In a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So b is the constant coefficient of x squared, x, and a is the constant of x squared, and c is the constant term. So there are three different conditions. So in case number 1, so the first case where the discriminant is equal to 0. If the discriminant of the quadratic equation is equal to 0, then the roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0 are real and equal. The first case is if d is equal to, which is the discriminant is equal to 0, then the roots will be real number and equal. So it will have two equal roots. Second condition, which is d is greater than 0, where the discriminant is greater than 0, then the roots of the quadratic equation will be real and unequal. So that will be there will be two different roots, and that will be unequal as well. The case number 3, which is d is less than 0. If the discriminant is less than 0, then the roots of the quadratic equation are imaginary and unequal. So which is that there is no real roots. So there exist three conditions for the nature for the roots according to the discriminant value. If the discriminant is equal to 0, then they have that quadratic equation have two real and equal roots. If the d is greater than 0, the second case, if d is greater than 0, the discriminant is greater than 0, then the roots of that quadratic equation will be real and unequal. So it will have two different real but unequal solutions. And last case, which d is less than 0, so that will be the roots will be imaginary and unequal, so which is there is no real roots. We can say there is no real roots. Now let's see two questions to just verify this equation, this cases. So that is, discuss the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. So first what we have to do, we need to find the discriminant. So discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So that is d is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Correct? So in this quadratic equation, we can write a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 8 and c equals to 3. Now let's replace this in this formula. So that is b squared, that is minus 8 squared minus 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. Correct? So that is minus 8 squared is minus 64. 64 minus 4 multiplied by 2, 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. So that is 64 minus 24. So that is 40. So here x is 40. 40 is discriminant is greater than 0. So that is d is greater than 0. In this condition, what will be the nature of roots? If the discriminant is greater than 0, that it will be real and unequal. So the nature of the roots will be real and unequal. So it will have two different solutions. As you know, a quadratic equation can have at most two solutions according to the degree of a quadratic equation. So that roots are directly connected to the degree of the quadratic equation. So the degree of the quadratic equation is 2. So a quadratic equation can have at most, can have maximum number of two roots. So here in this case, the discriminant is greater than 0. So it will have two real and unequal roots. Okay, let's see another one, which is 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals to 0. Similarly, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. A is equal to 4, b is equal to minus 4 and c equals to 1. Let's replace this in the formula. So that is b squared, which is minus 4 squared minus 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 1. So that is minus 4 squared, so that is 16 minus 4 into 4, that is 16. 16 minus 16 will give you 0. So that is, here discriminant is equal to 0. So in this case, what is the nature of roots? So if d is equal to 0, if the discriminant is equal to 0, then the roots of that equation are real and equal. So the roots of this equation 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 are real and equal. Real and equal roots. So it will have two identical roots. We can say it will have two identical roots. So students, I hope you are clear on the concept of quadratic equations, the different methods to solve that equations and the nature of roots. So next video we will start the exercises from the textbook. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in your comments, or if you need more videos from the same topic, please let me know. Thank you for watching.